Hello everybody, it's Jennifer of JennySueMakeup.com and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my home studio. So today's topic is going to be all about bronzer and specifically 3 of my favorite uses for it. We're gonna go from my eyes to my cheekbones and we're even gonna go to my neck. So let's go ahead and get into it. So some of you may be wondering, why would I need to use the bronzer? And my simple answer for that is it helps to give a healthy looking complexion and to warm up the skin tone and to give you a nice sun-kissed look without the actual sun, which we all know is not good for us. To get a real suntan, no, bad for the skin. So bronzer helps for you to fake that tan that you don't need to get in the sun. And I also tend to use it for light contouring. There is a difference between using a bronzer just to bronze the skin and then to contour, but you can do light contouring with a bronzer as long as you've chosen the right color. Which leads me to a lot of women ask, how do I pick the right type of bronzer? And a general rule of thumb is to pick a bronzer that's about 2 shades darker than your natural skin tone. If you go much darker than that, it's gonna look really fake and not realistic, and that is not what you want. A bronzer is really supposed to just give you this nice halo glow effect of your skin and just to warm up the skin tone, and no one's supposed to know that it's there. So that is the key. So maybe you want about 2 shades darker than your natural skin tone. And also I prefer a bronzer that is more matte in finish. And when I say matte in finish, I mean there's no shimmer in it, especially if you're trying to get a realistic tan. When you tan in the sun, do you have shimmer and glitter all over your face? No, you just have a nice matte tan skin. So choosing a matte formula is pretty important if you're just trying to give yourself a realistic glow. And of course, try not to go for the orange-based bronzers. That's also a no bueno, and you don't want to end up looking like an Oompa Loompa. So now my first use for bronzer is probably gonna be a more non-conventional way, and that is to use your bronzer as your perfect brown eyeshadow. Yes, your perfect brown eyeshadow. Think about it. If your bronzer is good enough for your entire face and your neck and your chest, it's gonna work just as well for your eyelids. And it kills 2 birds with 1 stone if you think about it. If you're wanting to warm up your face with bronzer, but you also wanna have a little bit of eyeshadow and get out of the door, one product will do both of it. So I'm gonna show you how this bronzer works on my eyelids to give me just the perfect neutral brown eyeshadow look. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution bronzer in Mega Bronzer 01 Cool, and it is matte, no shimmers here. Now I already have lashes on, a little bit of eyeshadow. I just have a light color and a little bit of shimmer on my eyelid. So I'm gonna use the bronzer just to give me a little bit more dimension on my eyelid. I'm gonna take my eyeshadow brush, put it in the bronzer, blow it off as usual, and then I'm just gonna rub it right along the socket crease of my eyelid just to give my eyelid a little bit more dimension and to really play up that crease. So let's see if you can see it there, the difference, because this one does not have bronzer on it, and then this one does. It looks very, very nice. So then we're just gonna pop it on over here too. And the great thing about using this is you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Did I already say that?
Yep.
I probably already said that. Just want to reiterate that you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That you can use this on your face and your eyelids. Now, my bangs have gotten a little bit long, so I feel like I'm kind of blocking where you can see how this bronzer looks on my eyeshadow. So we'll just move the bangs out of the way. But see that? That immediately gave my eyelids a little bit more dimension, and it goes perfectly with the rest of my eye look and my skin tone. Put just a little bit more on for good measure. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow brushes. This is Kevin Aucoin brush. Small eyeshadow flat tip brush, but it's a good one. Perfect brown eyeshadow. All right, let's go to the next use. Now the next way I would use bronzer is to sculpt my cheekbones and to warm up my skin tone a little bit. So for this look, I am going to be using the same bronzer, and I'm going to use the Scott Barnes number 64 brush. This is actually, I believe it's a Sculpt and Blush brush. So I'm just gonna tap it into my bronzer, and we are gonna go right underneath the cheekbone. We're actually gonna start right about the temple and the top of the ear. A lot of people ask me, should I apply my blush first or my bronzer first? I don't really think it matters, just as long as you blend. And when you think you've blended enough, blend some more. So I obviously have on blush already. And so I'm just going right underneath that blush and starting from the top of my ear and just taking it right underneath the cheekbone. So it just gives me the illusion of more chiseled cheekbones than I actually have. And I stop about midway of the fat pad of my cheek. I stop about right there. Okay, there we go. Nice chiseled cheekbones. All right, and so for my final use of bronzer, one of my favorite places to put bronzer that a lot of people don't think about is right underneath your chin. So here's the thing. Our chin blocks this part of our neck from the sun just from everyday walking around outside. And our chests get a lot of sun, our faces get a lot of sun, but our neck tends to get kind of left out and looks a lot paler than the rest of our face and our chest. So you wanna make that part of your neck match your face, and it also has a slimming effect to add a little bit of bronzer there. So I'm gonna use the same Scott Barnes brush, same bronzer. And so when I lift my chin up, you can see how that's just a little bit lighter than the rest of my neck. And so I'm gonna hit right underneath that chin. This is really easy, but you'll be amazed how good it looks when you're evening up the skin tone of that neck, and it just seamlessly blends with your chest, which is ideal. And like I said, by warming up this part of the neck and the chin, it actually creates kind of a slimming effect along your jawline to do this. And so I go right up to the ear on both sides just to make sure that it's nice and even, and I haven't left any white spots, and that blends perfectly. And see how easy that was? And now everything looks nice and seamless. Okay, y'all, well, that is it for today's video, and I hope that this gave you a good or a different perspective on how to use your bronzer next time. Remember, you can use it on your eyelids, you can use it to build some cheekbones, and you can use it to warm up and slim that neck. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And be sure to go follow me on social media. I love Pinterest, I love Instagram. It's all at Jenny Sue Makeup, pretty much everywhere on social media that you look for me. And if you are interested in any of these products that I talked about, the bronzer, the brushes that I used, I will put links to those in the description below this video that you can go check out. So until next time, see y'all later. I always feel like I'm rushing through that and doesn't really look good, but you can see a difference, right? From where you sat.
Yeah. Of course I'm gonna tell you that.
I think it looks pretty good. I love bronzer. I think it is a very underrated product.